Hello, it's Karen the Weekend Craftaholic, and I've got a really fun project to share with you today. This is a free pattern by Sherry and Chelsea of A Quilting Life. I'll put the link down below, and this is a little pattern to make a pillow. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been collecting mini charm packs, and I happen to have two of these from Sherry and Chelsea actually, but this is the Delightfully Yours collection. I think the actual pattern was made when Strawberry Lemonade first came out, but the colour schemes are very similar, so I thought this would be a good one to use one of these little charm packs up with. Now you see me here, I'm just sorting through because there's two different designs you can do. Hopefully you can see. You can do a little English paper piecing feature at the front of this particular design. Now I will say it is a free pattern, so I'm absolutely not being critical in any way, but I thought it would have had more instructions as to not just arranging the front or the back, but putting it together. So you'll see further on in the video I do start to wing it a little bit. So always appreciative of the knowledge and free patterns that are shared by some of these designers. And today's video is just showing you a stitch along and basically how I managed to make a little project out of it as well. So I've decided for the little hexagon here, I'm trying to get a little bit of each colour. So I don't want the same colour, and I also don't want the same design as well, or the same pattern. I do end up with the same pattern in a different colour scheme. Like for example, the white, the green and the yellow is the same pattern design. And down the centre right now you can see it's all the same pattern design but in a different colour scheme. So I'm trying desperately to kind of mix and match it up so it doesn't look so obvious while still trying to get a different colour within it. Now, I absolutely love this pillow that gets made at the end, so would not change anything apart from I probably shouldn't have used the white fabric here because I do end up appliquing this on top of a white border background fabric, so it gets a little bit lost, but nevertheless I absolutely love this and it's going to be a firm favourite. I'm going to make more and more of these because I really loved the finished product and how simple it was. If you've never tried English paper piecing before, it's a great way to kick off and start to dip your toe into it. I've got these 1-inch hexagon templates. It doesn't actually say in the instructions, I don't think from memory, the size of it. I know I ended up looking at, there's a video link to English paper piecing, so I had to go into the video link to see what size she used, so I wanted to make sure it was absolutely fit. I think the background square was 6.5 by 6.5 inch square. So you can see here I've basically just used a 1-inch paper to glue them down, cut around these fabric. Now is stitching time. Now I'm just going to show you a little bit on here because I do decide to go and sit on the sofa and watch a bit of TV while I finish this off, but I do like to use binding clips just to hold it in place while I'm stitching these together. So this probably took maybe an hour, maybe less, but I love doing hand sewing. I'm getting into embroidery as well as cross stitch, and English paper piecing is always a firm favourite as well. So really pleased for the opportunity to incorporate it into a little quilty project as well and use up some of these mini charms. I think it's perfect for this. So you can see you just kind of stitch side by side, and then when you're doing the third one together you just kind of fold it over. Now when you've finished all of that you do take the cardboard pieces out. I think I do show you that soon, but for now I'm showing you how I've managed to kind of decide and spread out these background pieces. So this is just on a pressing board, and I'm just going to sew across on these diagonal rows, and then and I was trying to show you the direction of me doing it, but you can see here a little bit better with this illustration of how all of those rows come together. And of course we've got this big square in the middle, and this is where I would have loved some instructions because I wasn't quite sure how to handle it. But going back to the English paper piecing, I'm just showing you here where I'm kind of just peeking out this little paper piece. Now you can use these again as well if you don't damage them too much, so I'm trying to be a little bit fragile so I can reuse these cardboards. I find you can probably use them maybe 3 or 4 times and then they really are kind of past their best. But the glue stick that I've been using is great because it's just a temporary glue, so it doesn't damage the pieces too much. And you can see here when you take it out, The fabric itself tends to hold its shape very well as well, so it's not too much of a drama. I have given it a little bit of a press with the iron whilst the paper's in, just to kind of hopefully set it a little bit, and then you'll see that I'm going to use the iron on top of it as well. So I kind of coax it a little bit to begin with, just where those little edges are sticking up. I'm trying to kind of press them down, and I say press it down, I'm trying to press and not iron. You can see my iron's moving across this, but when I get to the ends, and then once I've got it pretty much nice and flat, I'm just going to turn that over then and give it another a little spritz of that, and then it's ready to be appliqued on that white square background. And that's when I realised my mistake of having a white piece of hexagon piece. But that's fine. It's not quite the same shade, but it does make me think it would have been better with a different colour. Not, there wasn't a different colour to use. Maybe I could have used one of these little beigey grey pieces. But still, absolutely love it. Now, I didn't hand sew this onto that piece. I decided to just, I've got some of these applique pins just to hold it in place, and then I decided to machine top stitch across it, and I've just put a little zigzag stitch on that, and I've done the zigzag stitch, hopefully you can see here, along all of the squares as well. So I've gone down all the way across. I thought it would be a bit more of a scrappy look by doing that. So really pleased with this, and this is pretty much as far as the pattern goes. So I have obviously put a bit of quilting batting on the back of that, and I've decided, rather than do another patchwork on the back of the quilt, you see I've just got this spare piece of fabric. Now, it's not part of the same collection, but I thought the teal colours match nicely enough. And it does mention you can do either an envelope, pillowcase, or a zipper. And I'm not confident with a zipper. I can do zippers in pencil cases, and which means I probably could do it in a pillowcase, but again, I wasn't too sure of the sizings because it wasn't laid out, so I wouldn't do a zipper unless I had the full pattern for that. But this is easy enough to do as the envelope. Probably the one thing I did is have too much overlap for it. I probably should have had that bottom piece come in a little bit towards the middle. I didn't need it quite as long. And you can see here, I'm just making sure I've got no creases in here. I'm giving it a good pin all around the outsides, because what I'm going to do now is basically layer it. You can see it's layered there with right sides together, and then I'm just going to sew all the way around once I've trimmed that. Just doing a bit of a 1/4 inch seam, nothing too crazy, and trimming off all these pieces now before I turn it right sides out. And that's it, pretty much done. I've got a few little pictures to show you of just how it looks. Obviously turning it right sides out, I've got my little turning tool as well, just a pokey tool as I like to call it, just to make sure that these corners are nice and stretched out. And it is a bit tricky doing these ones because I've got to get my hand quite a way in to then come back up. But again, it's first time I've done this, and I know when I make another one it's going to be even better. I absolutely love this this design. You can see here, I think adding that batting just and the quilting effect, rather than just having it on the fabric, really does make it feel quite homely and cozy, and it's going to be perfect in my craft room. So I'm giving it a good press here, and then what you're going to see is the actual finished cushion itself. So if you're interested in doing a small project, I'd say this maybe took a couple of hours to do all in all, so definitely achievable to get finished in one day if you're looking to do something this weekend and you've got some nice scraps of fabric or a mini charm pack to use. And this is it, all stuffed. I'm keeping this on my little chair in my craft room, and you can see here, and I've already used it. It is very cozy with the stuffing that I've got. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great crafting weekend.